Hey, this is Dr. Hymers in my office.
这是海罗博士在我办公室里。
Este es Dr. Hymers en mi oficina.
I am going to talk to you just in English.
现在仅仅用英文告诉大家一件事儿。
Le hablaré solamente en inglés.
But we'll be back in just a few minutes to preach the sermon, and that'll be in English and Spanish and Chinese as always.
再过一会儿呢，我们讲到的时候就是用3种语言了：中文、英文、西班牙语。
Pero regresaremos en unos minutos para predicar el sermón y será en inglés, español y chino como siempre.
So keep watching.
继续观看下。
Sigue mirando.
Now at the top of your screen is an address where you can write to get these two books. We're offering these two books, one by Dr. Kagan and one by me, and 2 books for the price of 1. This is Dr. Kagan's book, From Darwin to Design. It is a book on showing the untenable nature, the falseness of the Darwinian theory of evolution, and he does a fine job. Dr. Kagan has a PhD in mathematics from UCLA, and he has written this wonderful book. I helped him a little bit with the English of it. And Dr. Henry M. Morris, the founder of the Institute for Christian Research, said, "It's a delight to read." And Dr. D. James Kennedy said, "A word of warning to those who may pick up this book by chance, you most likely will not be able to put it down." Darwin to Design shows how Dr. Kagan, a staunch atheist, gradually began realizing the laws governing the universe are too precise to point to anything but intelligent design by God. I want you to have this book, and I want you to have this one as well. This one is my autobiography. It's called Against All Fears. Dr. Kagan wrote on the back, "You will laugh, you will cry, it will encourage you when you're ready to give up." Dr. Paige Patterson, the president of Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, said, "Read this book and you will be blessed." This is my autobiography, and it's quite a book. It's got photographs of me with everybody from Richard Nixon to Billy Graham, and I met some real heavy Christians in my day, as the hippies would say. And this is my life story. Moish Rosen, Jews for Jesus, Patrick Buchanan, Dr. Bob Jones Jr., Richard Nixon, President Reagan, pictures with me, and I met these great men, Dr. W.A. Criswell, Dr. Robert L. Sumner, and Dr. John R. Rice, Dr. Richard Rembrandt, Dr. Bill Bright, and Dr. Jerry Falwell. These are some of the men that I've met, Billy Graham, over the years, and Francis Schaeffer. And I want you to have this book. It's my unvarnished and truthful autobiography, how I came up as a boy, a virtual orphan, and how I came into the ministry and failed as a missionary, but now I'm pastor of the only independent fundamental Baptist church in downtown Los Angeles. This book will blow you away. It's called Against All Fears. A frightened boy overcame incredible obstacles and became an inspiration to millions. I'm going to send you both these books because I believe you need them. You will read them yourself, and if you're a pastor, you'll teach these books to your young people. They're tremendous books. This one is on showing the fallacies, the unreliability of Darwinian evolution. This one is my autobiography, how I became a Christian, and I'm responsible for preaching these sermons all over the world. These books would sell for $25 each if you bought them in a bookstore. We're letting you have both of them for $25, and that includes postage. Write to me, Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr., Dr. Hymers, Hymers, at the address on the top of the screen, Post Office Box 15308, Los Angeles, California 90015. Make a check out to the Baptist Tabernacle of Los Angeles or to Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr. Either way, it'll get to me, and we'll send you both these books. This is a $50 $50 offer, you get both of them for $25. That includes shipping. So please write to us. Now we're going into the service, which is now underway, and God bless you for watching. What I want to talk about tonight is how we can become a church that doesn't have church splits.
我们今天要讲的就是如何我们成立一个教会，就没有教会分裂的教会。
Quiero hablar cómo podemos ser una iglesia que no tiene quebrantamientos de iglesia.
Now, it's not going to be easy, and we're going to have to change some things.
不会容易的，要改变一些事情。
Va a ser fácil, tendremos que cambiar las cosas.
But I don't see how. I had that. What did I do with those notes I had here? I don't see how we can have a church with having a church split every 5 or 6 years. I just don't see it. So it's my goal to. I had some yellow paper here. It must be on my desk. Oh, here it is underneath here. It's not to find fault with you, but to restructure us, because we're set up to have another church split right now. The next one is on the way. We have to understand some things. One of the reasons that I resigned as pastor was to help this from the outside.
之所以我退休，
To help overcome church splits from the outside.
之所以我辞职，就
Let
是
him translate, and then you translate. 1, 2, 3, it's the same thing.
之所以我辞职，就是从外面、从外界来帮助这教会重新组织。
Una de las razones que hemos tenido que me dejé de ser pastor es porque los quebrantamientos quiero ayudar para los de fuera.
Let me go back through what I started with last time.
上次提到，
There used to be a commercial on TV said, use it once and throw it away.
电视上有广告说用一次就抛弃掉，
Había antes un anuncio en el televisor que decía, úsalo una vez y bótalo.
And that mindset is behind or entailed in all of the church splits.
在我们的教会分裂里面，就是有这样的思维方法。
Eso se ve en todos los quebrantamientos de iglesia.
When a person splits a church, they don't expect ever to go back. They don't expect ever to have their friends again. They'll try to steal a few people out with phone calls and such, but they know they're giving up their friends for a lot of times for a lifetime. And it doesn't seem to bother them too much.
对他们来讲，放弃这个朋友根本就是永远的、终生的朋友都抛弃掉，对他们来讲没有什么问题。
Cuando se van, saben de que están dejando sus amigos por la vida y no les molesta.
Now, that doesn't make the church a very safe place to be.
这使教会并不是一个安全的地方了。
No hace la iglesia un lugar seguro para estar.
And these young people feel it as much or more than you do, probably. Maybe not as much as I do. I was raised in a home, as I told you last week, a home of divorce. I never lived with my father. They moved me 22 different times before I graduated from high school. I didn't have any friends in the first 12 grades.
就像我上次讲过了，我出生一个分裂的家庭，这个离婚的家庭，结果搬来搬去，走来走去。
Yo no tuve amigos en los primeros 12 grados de escuela.
I graduated from a virtually all black high school for bad boys, because it was the only school I could get in. Metropolitan High School was for bad boys. I didn't think I was bad enough to get in, but apparently I was. You had to talk the principal into letting you in. I didn't really do anything bad, and I thought, he won't let me in. I'm not black, and I'm not a bad boy. I just dropped out of high school. Couldn't get back in when I was 19. I was too old, and you couldn't do a GED like you do today and stuff. So I graduated from about a 85, 90% black high school, and I made a couple of friends there, but they didn't last. They didn't go through into anything else. And then I joined the Chinese church.
当时我毕业的中学呢，就是从一个80%到90%的黑人，因为他们都是坏学生。但是我呢就参加这么一个学，只能在那里毕业，然后呢加入华人教会。
La secundaria de cual yo gradué fue una escuela negra de niños malos, pero después de eso, entonces yo fui a la iglesia china.
Now in the Chinese church, I didn't really fit in either because I was the only white kid there. There was one other white guy, he was about 12 years older than me. I was about 19. He was about in his early 30s. His name
当时
was
呢，
Gene Wilkerson.
华人教会里面只有一个白人，Jim Wilkerson 比我大12岁。
Y en esa iglesia china tampoco yo estaba bien ahí porque era el único blanco. Había uno más como 12 años que yo, en sus 30, Gene Wilkerson.
I had a couple of friends that were in college, but through a church split, I lost those. And Mr. Wilkerson wasn't really my age, but he was the only real friend that I had there in that period.
当时 Wilkerson 虽不是我的年纪，但是我是唯一的一个朋友，在那个华人教会里。
Wilkerson no era de mi edad, pero era mi amigo.
So I pretty much grew up and graduated from high school and graduated from college. I went to college at night, Cal State LA City College first. No friends. You go at night. You don't have any friends. So I grew up a loner, alone.
基本上我长大的过程中间就是单独的一个人生活的。
Crecí solo, fui a la escuela de noche y ahí no haces amigos.
Now I didn't realize at the time. I realize it now, looking back, that God was preparing me for the ministry.
现在没有意识到，就那时候神已经准备我去做传道士了。
Dios me estaba preparando para el ministerio.
I'm going to read you something from Roy Branson from his book, Dear Preacher, Please Quit. It's quite good.
他 Branson 写了另一本书，叫《亲爱的牧师，请你辞职》。
Les voy a leer del libro de Roy Branson, predicador, ríndete.
About the loneliness of the ministry.
谈到了传道中间的孤独感。
Habla de la soledad del ministerio.
People don't realize it, but the ministry is a very lonely proposition, especially if you believe the Bible, if you believe in God. It's very lonely.
很多人没有意识到，做传道的工作非常孤独，尤其当你相信圣经的时候，尤其如此。
La gente no sabe, pero si crees en Dios, el ministerio es algo muy solo.
And sometimes it gets to you, especially these church splits. They really knock the wind out of me.
尤其是教
Because
会
I
分裂
lose
中，
people that I consider close friends. Once again, alone again, naturally.
尤其是那些我自以为是朋友那些放弃你的时候，让你感觉到非常受打击。
Y pierdes gente que piensa que son amigos y estás solo.
And if we're going to have a church, Mrs. Cook, you can move over just a little bit that way to your right. If we're going to have a church that grows to any size and that can actually put out this great missionary ministry on the internet, we cannot have continual church splits every 3 or 4, 5 years, because it keeps the church small, and that's why the devil does that. What do you need a bigger church for? Well, you've got it for a few reasons that you never thought of, because you've always been in a small church.
你为什么要大教会呢？正是因为你们没有进入一个大教会，所以你不理解，因为你总是在小教会里面待着。
Se tiene que tener una iglesia hasta que no estén quebrantamientos, porque si no va a ser pequeña.
We had one Christmas play.
我们有次圣诞节的这个话剧，
Tuvimos una drama de Pascua.
Put all the kids in it.
全部孩子进去。
Pusimos todos los
I
niños
look
ahí.
at the photographs once in a while. We never had a second one. You know why?
从来没有第二次，为什么？
Church splits.
教会分裂。
Nunca tuvimos la segunda por quebrantamientos.
So my boys were in it, and John Samuel was the baby, Jesus, and then the next year everybody was gone, and the next year after that everybody was gone. So we never had another Christmas play, and some people said, "Why didn't we have another Christmas play?" Church splits. See, just something that small that seems like every church would have it, but not this church in the inner city of Los Angeles, with people cleaned out every few months. You can't have a Christmas play. You can't have a vacation Bible school.
连一个简单的圣诞这个话剧都演不成，第二年就消失了，很多人都离开了。
Porque los niños, la gente se iba en quebrantamientos, solamente una drama de jóvenes con mis niños y a John Samuel como el bebé Jesús y a la cosa que no se puede hacer cuando la gente se va.
We had a vacation Bible school once or twice, but it petered out, and we couldn't have it the next year because of church splits. See, you can't. And why did we not? Why did we have camp in the city? Why didn't we have it up in a nice place? Church splits.
我们就是曾经有过那么圣经的学校，而且这个夏令营为什么不到山区里面？就是因为教会分裂。
No tuvimos el campo en la ciudad aquí en vez por causa de los quebrantamientos.
A church that's been going for 43 years ought to be able to have trips to the Holy Land. We've never had one. We never can. Church splits again.
我们40多年这个教会历史，应该有一个组织去圣地旅游，去以色列看，这个为什么不行呢？教会分裂。
La iglesia 43 años debimos de haber tenido viajes a la Tierra Santa, pero no lo hemos tenido.
One of the young men that left our church said, "There's nobody my age here now. Why? Why isn't there nobody his age?" Church splits.
一位年轻人说：“再没有像我这个年纪了，为什么呢？就是教会分裂。”
Uno que se fue dijo que no hay gente de mi edad, y es cierto por quebrantamientos.
So I resigned as the pastor, and I really did, for the express reason of being outside of the leadership of the church and being able to work from the outside to try to kill the dragon. Church split.
所以说，就是辞职的这个动机呢，就是从外部来一同了跟我们教会的领导一同来把这个龙杀掉。
Y me dejé el trabajo de pastor para poder trabajar de afuera para parar los quebrantamientos.
Most of you have never been a member of a good, thriving church, so you don't miss the things that we could have had.
你们大部分没有这一个真正兴旺的教会里面做成员，所以你根本没有想到有什么可以享受的。
No han sido miembros de una iglesia buena, viva, por eso no se extrañen lo que no tuvimos.
Christmas plays, trips to the Holy Land, vacation Bible schools, all kinds of things. You can't have them when you lose all the leadership every 4 or 5 years.
每隔那么4、5年就丢失了做领导那些，所以根本不可能有这么各种各样的活动。
No se puede tener vacaciones bíblicas, no se puede tener dramas, no se puede tener otras cosas cuando el liderazgo se va cada 4 o 5 años.
The other problem that we have is that it breeds church splits breed fearfulness of the pastor. The pastor becomes the enemy.
结果教会分裂，让那些人把牧师当作敌人来对待。
Cuando hay quebrantamientos, entonces el pastor es el enemigo.
I used to ask people, when they split, why didn't you talk to me about it? Well, I knew what you'd say.
结果曾问那些
I
人
finally got to where I never asked them that because I wanted to choke them when they said that. How could they possibly know what I'm going to say? They'd have to go through 62 years in the ministry. They'd have to graduate from 3 or 4 seminaries. They'd have to be preaching every Sunday for 60 years. Then they might know what I'm going to say. But even then, it takes a pastoral call and pastoral ability. So it's impossible for people that leave to know what I'm going to say. And it's a trick that the devil pulls on them.
他们总是受魔鬼的欺骗，总以为就
I
是
didn't talk to you because I knew what you'd say. The devil. That's the devil speaking and ignorant people listening to it. Now, you know what I'm going to think if you say that to me. You say, I had to leave because I couldn't talk to you. Why couldn't you talk to me? Well, I knew what you were going to say.
一旦你说的我要必须要离开，
Almost 100% of the time they're wrong. It's not what I'm going to say.
他们总说他们已经知道牧师要讲什么，都是错了，都是受魔鬼的欺骗。
Y a la gente se va y dice, bueno, no te hablé porque sabía que iba a decir. ¿Y cómo van a saber? Pues no tienen los años y la experiencia, la educación que tengo.
And that's a terrible thing to tell a pastor. I knew what you were going to say. That means I don't have any confidence in you. What if you went to a doctor like that and they checked you and the doctor said, you've got appendicitis. We need to operate right now.
他们对牧师这样讲话，就
Let
是
me
对
go
牧
home
师
and
缺，
think about it a while.
就是对牧师缺乏信心。如果你对医生这样的话，根本医生就不会动，不会碰你了。
Then the man has peritonitis and broke inside of him, and he's dying. Why didn't you ask the doctor what to do? Well, I knew what he was going to say. You would never do that with a medical doctor. You'd never do it with a dentist.
你永远不会对牙医、对医生这样讲话，因为你已经知道他们要做什么了，就不去看医生了吗？
Nunca irías al doctor y que cuando el doctor dice necesitas una operación, le dices que no, y nunca no haces eso tampoco con el dentista.
The pastor is, the poimen is the shepherd of the sheep, and he has a particular job that nobody else in the world could do.
牧师就作为真正的就是主持人，他有
And
一个
even
特殊
he
的工
doesn't think even he can't do it part of the time, and knows it. And when somebody says to him, "I knew what you were going to say," it just blows my mind. It makes me want to just quit. It makes me want to walk out, jump off the building. I spent all this time, all this energy, everything, for nothing. They don't want to hear the pastor.
花了那么多时间，准备那么多时间，结果一些人说我已经知道你要讲什么，结果我想放弃辞职。
Y aquí pasé todo este tiempo y para qué no quieren escuchar el pastor.
Well, what if he said something I don't like? Well, what if he did? Then you don't like it.
如果他讲些我不喜欢又怎么样呢？那你就
A
不喜欢
mature
算了。
person would talk it over. Oh, why don't you like it? Well, okay, I think this is wrong. Well, okay, maybe it is. The pastor, when the pastor preaches in the pulpit, it's not the way he talks in counseling, most of the time.
大部分时间
Preaching and talking are two different things. Sometimes a woman will say to me, "Why you talk so softly to me?" Of course, you don't expect me to go, "Now turn in your Schofield Bible." I can't do that. That's preaching. That's trying to hold people's attention, see? And it's not easy trying to keep people from going to sleep, keep them listening. You have to put a little bit of gumption in it. But I don't talk to people that way in counseling.
牧师谈话的时候跟他宣导完全不同的口吻。
No hablo con la gente de la manera que yo predico fuerte para agarrar la atención. No, yo hablo con ellos suave.
In fact, I do very little counseling now
实际上现在很少谈话了，
Hago poco aconsejar ahora.
because nobody wants it. They don't want to hear it.
根本那些人不想听我跟他们交谈，
Nadie lo quiere, nadie quiere escuchar.
And that bothers me too.
这让我非常不安。
Eso me
For
molesta
us to
también.
overcome church splits, you're going to have to trust, you're going to have to grit your teeth
咬紧牙关，
and
你要
ask the pastor what to do about things in your life and in your friends' lives. Grit your teeth. He's going to yell at me and give me a chance. I'm not going to yell at you. Mrs. Prudhomme took 23 years to find that out, didn't you?
如果真想
She
征
thought I
服
was
克
going to
服，
yell at her for 23 years, and when she finally listened to me, we got everything worked out pretty well with no yelling.
如果这真想征服这个教会分裂的话，必须要咬紧牙关，问牧师，跟牧师交谈。如果他对你大喊大叫了，让他喊。
Tomó la señora Pujón 23 años para fijarse de que no iba a gritar y al fin arreglamos todo.
When I yell, it's because I am right at the end of my rope.
当我
I
呼
think,
喊，
I think I just wasted my life. I threw my life away for nothing. Nobody listens to me. Nobody wants me. And yeah, I might yell.
当
But
那时候我感
it's,
觉到
it's because of being lonely and rejected.
因为一生这个孤独被人抛弃的这个最后的结果，让我感觉到忍无可忍。
Yo grito por causa de que estoy solo y me siento rechazado.
But in the new building and in the new church, move over just a little bit, Melissa, over that way. Just a little bit here. Yeah, that's it. In the new church, I am going to try my very dead level best not to yell at anybody, ever.
在新的教会里，我尽一切努力，不会对任
Now, I
何
may
人
break it the first day we get there. We're looking at a building now. We'll be looking at it tomorrow. I may drive by it tonight. Where is it, Doctor? San Gabriel. It's a nice church building, Pentecostal church building. It's got a parking lot. I want to know a few things. I want to look inside of it first and see. I think that'll be a good place to be. Maybe. It seems like the Lord is opening this up for us to move out of this building. I didn't know why. I thought, why did we buy this building? And we're not going to keep it. Well, it's an investment. We're going to get between $8 and $10 million for this building. That's going to go a long. We're going to pay back some of the money to people, especially those that put a lot of money into it. And then that money's going to go a long way to make sure that we have a good, strong church in the future if we don't have church splits. That is the Achilles heel of this church. That's the weak point of this church. Every 5 to 7 years we have a church split. Now, let's figure this out. Just think about it.
所以现在我们正在看一栋楼房，在圣盖博谷那里面的一个城市里边，这个很不错。明天再去看一看，为什么呢？我们买了这栋楼房，看来是我们的投资现在有那么大概100万啊，这样有那么几百万。
I figured out. Go ahead.
Tenemos el edificio como una inversión, vamos a venderlo quizás 8 o 10 millones y a eso va a ayudarnos mucho. Quizás estamos mirando una propiedad en San Gabriel, a una iglesia pentecostés que tiene estacionamiento.
Years ago, I figured out you want to try to get this pretty much full because some of these ladies if you give a partial translation in Spanish, they don't understand fully what I'm talking about. So try to give a pretty full translation in this. I figured out quite a while ago, more or less, and more as time went on, I finally figured out that the pastoral ministry is a lonely, lonely job.
很久以前我已经看到了传道事业这个让你非常孤独的一个事业。
Me fijé hace tiempo de que ser pastor es un trabajo solo.
职业。
You don't have a lot of friends. In fact, you probably don't have any.
可能根本就没有朋友，或者很少朋友。
No tienes muchos amigos, quizás no tienes ninguno.
As we move toward the end of the world, the Democrats tell us we've got 12 years before the end of the world. Mr. Nickel is smiling because he knows what they say. They're actually saying that. 12 years, that's what you got. Global warming will take us over. It may.
民主党告诉我们现在是末世了，
Glad
就12
somebody's saying
年。
it, but they're saying it just for their own.
12 años y quizás el
Aggrandizement.
global warming nos va a terminar. Le están diciendo los demócratas.
People have been setting dates for years. They're always wrong.
我告诉你们，他们肯定错，因为我们这么多年来定日期那天都是错的。
La gente ha puesto fechas por largo tiempo y siempre han estado equivocados.
But these are perilous times, and one of the perils of these times is that we are all lonely people.
但这是确实是一个危险的时代，这个危险的之一呢，就是孤独。
Uno de los problemas de hoy en día es de que estamos solos, de que somos gente solas.
And one of the biggest obstacles to me in the ministry is loneliness.
最大的我这个障碍之一就是个孤独感，整个事业中间。
Uno de los problemas más grandes del ministerio hoy en día es soledad.
I can count on the fingers of one hand the friends that I have after 50 years, 60 years in the ministry.
结果在我传道60年之后，我现在一手就可以数清楚，屈指可数这个朋友。
Puedo contar los dedos de una mano los amigos que tengo después de tantos años.
A friend is somebody is a pal, somebody you can just kind of pal around with, and you don't have to put on any airs or pretend to be anything. I've had about 5 friends like that.
一个朋友就是可以真正
And
坐
none
在
of
旁
them are
边，
here. None of them are here.
随便谈的。
Well, maybe one.
Un amigo es a la persona de que puede estar con ellos y no está pretendiendo ser otra persona.
I had 3 guys that come over and pray with me, and that was a very, very interesting to me. It literally saved me at one point because I thought I was dying of cancer.
当时有那么3位年轻人到我这边祷告，拯救了我当时得到癌症之后那种沮丧感。
Tuve 3 amigos de que vinieron y me ayudaron a orar conmigo cuando pensé que estaba muriendo de cáncer.
Those 3 boys would come in, and we'd have a little talk about this, talk about that, and then we'd have a prayer meeting, go around. And
我们3
it was I know it wasn't probably much to them, but it was life to me because I never had that. I never had that kind of fellowship and friendship.
当时那3位朋友过来，我们谈谈话，聊聊天，然后一同祷告，轮流祷告。对他们来讲可能不算什么，但对我来讲是一生中间最大的一种友谊的一种感受。
Era vida para mí cuando tenía esos 3 jóvenes viniendo, adorando conmigo, quizás no mucho para ellos, para mí sí.
The next thing I knew, we had a church split. 2 of them were gone.
结果一旦教会分裂，2个人就走了，就离开了。
Tuvimos quebrantamiento y 2 de ellos ya no están.
So that was the end of that.
结果那就结束了，
Eso fue el fin de eso.
No more prayer meeting in my house.
再没有祷告会了。
No más tiempo de oración en mi casa.
No more friend to call me or talk to me.
再也没有朋友给我打电话了，聊
No más
天，
amigo para llamar o hablar.
No other pal.
再也没有其他的朋友了。
No otro amigo.
Dr. Kagan.
凯根博士唯一的，
We have a
Dr.
work-
Kagan.
Dr. Kagan and I have a working relationship.
我们有个工作的关系，
Dr. Kagan y yo trabajamos juntos.
Most of what we talk about is regarding the work.
大部分我们谈的都是有关我们教会的工作。
La mayoría de lo que hablamos es la obra.
He's a friend. He's going to be there.
朋友，
Ese amigo va a estar ahí.
But we're both introverted.
但我
I
们都
call
是
him Dr. Kagan. He calls me Dr. Hymers. We don't even call each other by our first names.
我们都是非常就是职业上面的关系，很少就是互相称第一个名称。
Ni nos llamamos por los nombres, solamente nos llamamos Dr. Kagan, Dr. Hymers.
So, church split.
教会分裂的造成的，
Tuvimos quebrantamiento de iglesia.
Church split hurts me a lot. When it comes, it hurts me because I know the other people they're gonna get over it, but it's gonna hit me for a year or two.
其他人
Like
有
somebody kicked me in the guts for 2 years.
其他人可能很快就度过这个期间，但是对我来讲，2、3年都度过不了这种内心的痛苦。
Quebrantamiento de iglesia me golpea a mí en el fuerte por 1 o 2 años.
Just the time when I'm getting over it and building a little bit of a life for myself. Just beginning to think there might be hope. Bingo, another church split.
就在我想到生活刚刚开始的时候，可能新的生活开始，又一次教会分裂。
Cuando pienso de que hay esperanza, entonces otro quebrantamiento.
Now, in another time and another place, there'd be a pastor's fellowship, but there aren't any such things now, just in name only.
在另一个时期，是一个时代中间有个教会之间牧师的友谊团体，但现在没有。
Antes había compañerismo de pastores, pero ahora solamente en nombre.
I'm going to read you some what Dr. Branson writes, because he's an old man. He's about close to 90 years old. And he talks really straight about what happens in preachers' quote, fellowships, unquote.
我会读一读普兰森博士写的一些东西，讲到这个牧师之间的交往来往的这些聚会呢是什么东西。
Dr. Branson tiene 90 años de edad y él habla lo que pasa en los compañerismos predicadores.
I believe one of the reasons for all of the monkey business that preachers do is because a big reason is because they're so darn lonely and there is no fellowship in the preachers' fellowships, none.
就是因为牧师们这样孤独，就是他们必须要结合在一起
Dr. Branson writes about, I'm going to read some of that to you.
Parte de lo que pasa en los compañerismos es de que están solo y hacen tonterías.
普兰森博士写了一些，我读给大家听。
For instance, I was a program chairman for 3 or 4 years with the Baptist Bible Fellowship in Southern California. I did the programs. When I had my 60th anniversary in the ministry, one preacher came, Ted Trissler. One.
比如讲，我
Nobody else. Oh, one preacher came from the Baptist Bible Fellowship, and one minister sent me a present. John MacArthur sent me a very nice present and a letter. I was surprised at that. I wrote back to him and I said, I will use this for years to come. It's a great tool, the MacArthur Study Bible. I've been on your case for years about the blood of Christ, but by and large, I admire you.
当时我做这个整个的美
One
南计
preacher sent me about a $50 gift, Dr. John MacArthur, nobody else. Not a card, not a letter, not a phone call, nothing.
我当时做这
Ted
个
Trissler came. I will have Ted Trissler speak here.
Trishlo vino a la reunión de mi cumpleaños. La MacArthur me mandó de una Biblia y una carta y yo le escribí diciendo que ha sido fuerte con la sangre, pero lo respeto.
Now, what's wrong with the preachers?
所以这些牧师他们错到什么地方？
Que está mal con los predicadores.
Well, they're all in competition with each other
他们互相之间竞争，
Están en competición uno con el otro.
because they don't know how to win souls anymore because the Finney methods don't work. The Finney stuff doesn't work. The slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, prayer at the door doesn't work. It doesn't get anybody. So the only way they can add people to their church is by stealing them from other churches. You don't understand that. See, you got to grow. Your church has to grow, and you have no idea how to get anybody.
教会必须要成长，但你根本无
Our
所，
friend Dr. Chan is going to find that out. Go ahead.
他们很快就知道教会必须要成长，但他不知道如何让这些人得救成长的时候，他们就没办法，只能偷羊。
La manera rápida antigua ya no trabaja y la cosa es de que tienes que hacer algo diferente. La Chen va a ver de que no trabaja.
I begged him to learn how to lead people to Christ at the altar or in the inquiry room, but he never came.
陈医生一直没有搞清楚如何去得人，如何去跟他们谈话。
Le dije que aprendiera cómo ganar almas en el altar o en el cuarto consejo, pero nunca vino.
So in a case like that, you can get all the visitors. You can get hundreds of visitors, and nobody will get saved because you don't know how to lead them to Christ, and you don't know what to say to them after that. So what do? You have to get somebody out of another church, and that makes church splits ubiquitous. It happens all the time to all the churches.
尽管有很多人访客，但是很多人无法赢得这些人
Did
得
I
到
use
成为基督。
ubiquitous, right?
It means everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Por causa de que los quebrantamientos, la cosa es que no saben cómo ganar gente, saben quizá atraer a la gente, pero no pueden hacerlos convertidos. Y la cosa es de que está en todas partes de que tienen que robar las almas.
And somebody will tell you, I found a good church. It's a Baptist church. Somebody actually said that. It's a Baptist church. That's a good church. How do you know? Yeah, you don't know what's going on in a church until you've been there every Sunday for about 2 years. Then you begin to see what's really happening. It isn't evident when you go in. Everybody's smiling. Everybody shakes hands with you. Oh, it looks great.
一旦你去一个教会，你说是好教会吗？有人告诉我，他找的这个进
It
信号
ain't
很好。
necessarily so.
Al principio todo parece bien, te dan la mano, pero toma como 2 años para que tú sepas lo que está pasando, aunque sea una iglesia bautista.
但只有在2年之后，才知道这是什么样的教会。
People will say to me, I'm going on vacation. I'll be in such and such a town. Where's the good church there? I don't know. Where's a good church in L.A.?
有人总是在度假之前问我到什么地方，有没有好教会介绍一下。
Doesn't
我不
matter
知
how
道
good it looks the first 2 years you're there. Once you get into it, you'll find out then the problems.
La gente pregunta, ¿voy a ir a otro lugar para vacación? ¿Dónde voy a ir a la iglesia? No hay ninguna buenas. Después de 2 años tú verás de que hay problemas.
Now, God has given us some very good people, and you're here.
神赐给我们很多不错的、很优秀的人。
Dios nos ha dado buena gente y estás acá.
I mean, you've been shaken, not stirred. You know, like what's his name? James Bond's Martini. Yeah, shaken, not stirred. You've been shaken and not stirred, and you've been shaken many times and not stirred. But you're still here.
要知道，你们在座的受到了震动，却没有得到搅动。
So
Ustedes lo han sacudido muchas veces, pero todavía están acá.
So I am going to talk to you a couple of times a week, just like this. Anytime you have a question, you can ask, and I'll scream at you.
任何问题要问我，
I will not.
Hablaré varias
I
veces a
would-
la semana y si tienes preguntas me puedes preguntar.
I got Tui smiling. Yeah, good. Tui smiles. Okay.
川小姐还会笑。
So, any questions so far?
有没有问题可以
Or
提？
thoughts? Any
¿Alguien tiene
thoughts?
preguntas? ¿Algo que quiere preguntar?
Yes,
En
Mrs.
español está
Mencia.
bien.
Yes, Virgil Nickel. Yes, Mrs. Sanders. These are the people that always have a question. And they're good questions. They ask good questions. Or make good statements. It breaks down a lot of times even into ethnic groups. And that's is very sad to me.
同时呢，我们看到有问题的朋友呢，就是总会是同一个种族的。
A veces en grupo étnico y esto es algo triste.
Because that should be a hallmark of our church.
这应该
Should be
是
one of the big good things about our church, but it broke down into it. Spanish people said we don't belong there, and they went. And they have a little girl telling them what to do. Girl that married Sergio is their pastor. And somebody else went this way and somebody else went that way. I don't really care where they went or what they're doing. My job is to do something with you and you with me. For us to do this church right, we have to stay. We have to stay. If something is wrong, you have to have the courage to come to me.
任何事情，如果你要看见不正确，你
It
必
will
须有
take
勇
courage
气。
because the devil will tell you, especially if it's important. If it's something important, especially if it's important, the devil will tell you, don't talk to him. You know what he's going to say. You know what he's going to say. That's the devil. You have no idea what I'm going to say.
一旦你有什么重要
You
的
have
事，
no, how could you possibly know what I'm going to say?
不要听从魔鬼的声音，你不知道我要讲什么。
If
Los
you
latinos-
see, if you see or hear something wrong, talk to me. Oh no, I know what he's going to say. Go ahead.
Los latinos se fueron porque estaban escuchando a una muchachita de que lo estaba guiando. 2 o 3 se fueron para acá o para allá. No importa qué pasó con ellos. Mi trabajo es con ustedes, a ayudar a ustedes. Eso es lo que es importante.
Well, you were real hard on us there when the split started. Yeah, I was.
教会分裂开始的时候，你对我们这个语气很不好，你说是的，我是很粗暴。
Fuiste duro con nosotros cuando empezó el quebrantamiento.
One deacon tried to get in a fight with me. You know who it was.
有那么知
Another
识，
deacon had lunch with me every week on Tuesday, took me to the gym, and left the next week, and took a bunch of people with him without saying a word.
一个知识想跟我打架，另一个知识每个礼拜二带我去游泳，然后吃午餐，结果突然间不见了。
Un diácono trató de pelear conmigo, otro almorzaba conmigo, me llevaba al gimnasio cada semana y después se fue.
So I
sin
said,
decir una
okay,
palabra.
this time I'm going to do it different. I don't want it to string out for 20 years like it did with Oliva Split. I'm going to give them Romans 16, 17, and 18.
我不想这个继
And
续
I'm going to tell them, if you do this, we will not have a church split. They didn't do it.
我就把罗马书16章
There would have
17
been no church split if they'd have done that.
Esta vez dije que voy a hacerlo diferente, le di Romanos 16, 17 y 18. Si hubieran hecho eso, no hubiéramos
Pretty
tenido
simple.
quebrantamiento.
Romans 16, 17, and 18.
很简单，罗马书里面16章，如果他按着做的话，就不会有教会分裂。
Hubiera sido fácil Romanos 16, 17, 18.
So we live in a time of emotion.
现在我们生活在一个情感用事的一个时代中，
We live in a
Vivimos en tiempo
time.
de emoción.
We live in a time when people go by their feelings.
他们完全情感用事。
I,
Vivimos en
cha-
tiempo cuando la gente va
I
por lo que
challenge
siente.
them. Don't go by your feelings. Go by Romans 16, 17, and 18, and the church split will be over with. It's over now, and they're gone. 2/3 of our church is gone because they couldn't do that. They
Yeah,
couldn't
Joe.
obey the Bible on that point.
教会2/3的人，
Why? That one verse would cure it? Absolutely.
一句经文就可以治愈教会分裂。
Se acabó por causa de que ya se fue como 2/3, pero si hubieran obedecido ese un verso, entonces se hubiera parado más rápido.
I told the people over and over, this one verse, I taught it, I mentioned it, I went over it, over it, over it. Do this one verse, and the church split's over now, but they're gone.
教会分裂结束时候，要记住，他们都离开
Will
了
they。come back
Ya se
now?
acabó el quebrantamiento, pero ellos ya se fueron también.
No, they will not come back. Why? Because once a person does something like that, and it's a horrible thing to do.
一旦一个人作为教会
As a
分
matter
裂
of
的人，
fact, it's something I've never done. I've never left a church that way.
Regresarán cuando una persona hace algo así, y es una cosa horrible. Yo nunca me he ido de una iglesia de esta manera.
Neither is Dr. Kagan.
凯根博士我从来没有这样做过。
Y nunca me he ido así de una iglesia, tampoco Dr. K.
I spoke this morning on the phone with the pastor of the church I started in San Rafael.
今天早上我跟 San Rafael 那里边一个牧师谈过话，电话里面讲
Hablé en el teléfono esta mañana con el pastor de la iglesia que yo empecé en San
His
Rafael.
name is Mike Riley.
Mike Riley，我一直参加过教会，都是保持友好的关系。
Hablé con Mike Riley.
He had his first grandson Sunday afternoon, and Dr. Kagan and I talked to him a little bit. That guy's my friend for 50 years.
Mike Riley 呢，我50年代的朋友，要知道他刚刚生孙子，
Mike Riley acaba de tener un nieto y es mi amigo de 50 años.
He's one of the five, well, maybe 10. It's not very many lifelong friends.
终
And
身
then
的朋友
Roger Hoffman, we had a set two here, but he called me twice. How are you doing, Bob? I'm worried about you. What can I pray for? Roger Hoffman is my lifelong friend. You don't lose a lifelong friend over one argument.
我们终生的朋友不会因为一次就是斗口的就丢失
Hoffman
这
es
个
mi
朋友
amigo。de vida, no se pierde un amigo por un argumento.
Nobody that left called me and asked me how I was doing, but Roger Hoffman did.
没有一个
No
离开
Baptist Bible Fellowship pastor called me.
没有 BB，
Nadie que se fue me preguntó cómo estaba.
John
ningún-
MacArthur sent me a beautiful, beautiful Bible. It's worth about $75. The MacArthur Study Bible, beautiful. You can take it with you, and it's got comments that'll take you through the whole Bible, and 99% of them are great comments. It's a great tool. And I appreciated that. I went to his church and heard him preach because I wanted to see how he's doing. He's not quite right, but he's better than most.
麦克阿瑟博士送给我一本圣经，其他朋友根
Not
本没
quite
有一
right
个
on the blood, but he's better than most. Nobody preaches on the blood anymore.
Yo fui a la iglesia de él a visitar y está, está equivocado sobre la sangre, pero nadie predica bien ya.
And then Ted Trissler came. I appreciated that. I liked seeing him come.
Ted
His church has been eaten alive with church splits about every 2 years, for years, until there's maybe 20 people there. And he's a nice man. He ought to have 200 people. But he's not. He didn't wrap his head around it yet.
他们教会也是一次次被教会分裂，现在剩20几个人。
Fred Trussell debe de tener como 200, tiene como 20 en vez por causa de que no entiende.
There's men watching this in the third world.
第三世界的人观看这个视频，
Gente mirando esto en el tercer mundo.
As well as in the United States, I had a couple of nice emails from pastors in the United States this week.
然后过去
Already.
这个礼拜呢，有那么几个信息，有个电邮
Let。me tell you what to do, fellas.
Algunos buenos pastores en los Estados Unidos me mandó buenos emails esta última semana.
Number one,
第一样是要做，
Número 1,
get Church Split. It's a book written by Dr. Roy L. Branson. He's in the late 80s, and he's written a tremendous book. Get it, read it, think about it, study it. Then get another book by him
买一本。
called Dear Preacher, Please Quit. I don't agree with every sentence of it, but for the most part, these are tremendous books by an old preacher that's seen everything.
买普兰森的2本书，一本书就教会分了，另一本书就亲爱的牧师，请你辞职。
Roy Branson ha escrito 2 libros, bueno en inglés. Uno es Quebrantamiento de Iglesia y el otro es Predicador, por favor, párate, tiene como 90 años de edad, ha visto todo y sabe.
We live in a terrible time. It really is. We live in a very, very weird, strange time in history.
我们生活在历史上非常危险，而且非常奇怪的时间。
Vivimos en un tiempo muy malo, extraño de la historia.
And especially for Christians,
尤其是基督徒来是危险的时代。
Especialmente por los cristianos.
I mean, you can. We're going to get it here. There's more Christian persecution against Christians in the world than at any time in world history, right now.
现在对基督教徒的
And
迫
we're
害超
getting it here. One of the ways. How do we get persecuted here? One of the ways is church split. Go ahead.
Tenemos más persecución ahora que antes y una de las maneras es quebrantamiento de iglesia.
教会分裂就是迫害之一。
People applaud, but I say, would you take a bullet in the head?
有些人讲，你情愿就是挨一个枪子儿吗？
La gente aplaude si digo si tomarías
Would
una
you bow
bala.
your neck and let them cut your head off like those 25 people they had in a row and they took the picture of them? You can see it on internet. It's on the internet still. Sure, I'd do that. Okay, will you come back to church? Oh, no. It's just self-deception. What we're going through now in America is persecution by church splits.
真正在美国就是对真正教会的迫害呢，就是教会分裂。
Y a la gente se le dice, bueno, dejaría que te corten la cabeza como es 22, y ellos dicen que no, pero hoy en día lo que tenemos es quebrantamientos.
This church should have 1,000 happy members.
这个教会本应该有1000人，
Esta iglesia debe de tener 1000 miembros felices,
At least.
至少。
por lo menos.
No. Why? Church split.
为什么不能呢？就是教会分裂。
No
So
por
this-
causa de
So
quebrantamientos.
this is what we're going to work on. And I'm going to talk about it. When are you going to stop? Maybe never.
什么时候停止谈教会分裂？有可能永远不会。
Vamos a trabajar en esto y cuando pararás de hablar, quizás nunca.
See, look, what if you had a cancer in your hand?
如果你手上有癌症，
Que si tuvieras un cáncer en la mano,
You went to the doctor,
医生
ibas al doctor,
they Xeroxed it,
不断在这放射，
operated on it, put you to sleep.
然后
You were
让
in
你
traction.
te operan y te lo
动手术。
quitan el cáncer, lo que sea, vas al doctor.
A year later, you had another cancer there.
第2年又来
You
一
went
个
through
癌
the
症，
same thing.
同样做
Otro
手，
año pasa la misma cosa y te operan de nuevo.
2 years later, you had another cancer there.
2年后又有癌症。
About
Dos
that
años
time,
más.
I'd think very seriously about taking a knife and cutting my hand off. But that wouldn't do it either, because then you don't have a left hand.
结果到那时候应该就把手
This is
切
the。biggest problem that we have to face
Y
as a
entonces
church.
si regresa, entonces sería quizás cortar la mano, pero no puede ser eso porque entonces no tendría una
It's
mano
a
izquierda.
cancer.
El problema más grande que tenemos es este cáncer.
And I've already given you one of the ways. One of the ways to overcome it is when there's something that appears to be wrong, you have to suck your gut in, be brave, come to the pastor, and let him say what you know he's going to say. What? He didn't say that. Oh, I see. I'm a resource tool. I've been through many church splits. I've been around a long time, since the 1950s. I know more about it than anybody here, including anybody here.
你们应该鼓足勇
And I
气
will try to help you.
跟牧师来谈。
We have to think of this instead of me preaching here and you're there. It's the wrong way to think about it.
Y yo te voy a ayudar, quizás la cosa es que a través de todo esto voy a tratar de ayudar y tienes que parar pensar diferente.
You have to think about it that like we're a team.
必须要把我们当作同一个团队中间一同努力的人。
Tienes que pensar como que somos un equipo.
And as a team, we have to work together.
这个团队中要努力一
Como
起
equipo
工作
tenemos。que trabajar
It's not
juntos.
that bad. A lot of times, you get a wrong idea because you see it from that side. I usually see it from many sides because you'll be surprised. You'll say something to me, and you think that's it. But I can tell you this and this and this different ways, because that's what I do. I mean, what do? I pray for this church most of the time.
我为这个教会祷告很多次了，
Most of what I do is to think about and pray about this church.
La mayoría de lo que yo hago es pienso, digo, oro por esta iglesia, digo, miro las cosas de distintas maneras.
Now, why aren't we doing evangelism now?
为什么现在没有外出传福音呢？
¿Por qué no hacemos evangelismo ahora?
Because this is the wrong time to do evangelism.
现在不是时机。
Es el tiempo equivocado para hacer evangelismo.
Why is it the wrong time?
为什么不是时机？
Well,
Porque es el tiempo equivocado.
we're still suffering from a church split.
仍然的教会分裂中间受苦。
Todavía tenemos quebrantamiento de iglesia.
There are people here that are blown away, including me.
在座一些人让这心神不定，包括我在内。
Hay gente que ha espantado, incluyéndome a mí.
Including me, I'm blown away.
心神
The
不定。
pastor doesn't get blown away, does he? Yeah, sure I do. Every time my friends leave, I get blown away for a couple of years.
每一次朋友离开之后，我总是心神不定，几年如此。
Cada vez que se van mis amigos, me siento mal por años.
My prayer team is gone,
祷告了小组消散了，
and
El grupo de oración se ha ido.
it blew me away. Well, I don't see it. Well, you saw it. I resigned as pastor. I can't take it anymore.
你就见到了，我已经辞职了，我现在不能再忍受了。
Dejé de ser pastor, yo no puedo más.
And it doesn't mean that I'm going to usurp Dr. Kagan's authority. I'm not going to do that.
不代表我要真正是取
Well, I
代。
might once in a while when I backslide, but I mean, I'm going to try my best not to, because he's a good pastor. He's a good man. And I'll tell you, Dr. Kagan is better than any BBFI preacher in Southern California.
Dr. Kagan es mejor que cualquier predicador bautista de la BBF.
Yeah,
凯根博士
who
好过
would be better than him?
大部分的牧师。
¿Quién es mejor que él?
So he talks everything over with Dr. Hymers. Well, okay. I don't always. He doesn't always agree with me. You'd be surprised how we work together. My son was sitting. Leslie was sitting on the couch over here. I was sitting with Dr. Kagan over here. We were going back and forth as we do. And I said afterwards to Leslie, I said, "Did you see the way Dr. Kagan and I work?" He said, "Yeah, I've noticed that for years." He'll say something and I'll say, "Yeah, but that's not quite right." Then he'll say this, and then I'll say that, and then I'm going to work with Dr. Kagan. He's not going to walk away. He's too good a man.
凯根博士绝对不会走人。我告诉你们，
And
他
when
太
I'm wrong,
优
he
秀。
tells me. You don't hear it because he tells me it not in front of you.
他跟我对话、更正我的时候，都在背后。
Hablo y trabajo con Dr. Kagan y él digo algo y él dice otra cosa y yo algo y vamos así adelante para atrás y lo hacemos bien.
The worst way to correct a pastor, if you want a pastor to change, the worst thing to do is to stand up in a meeting and say, "I think this." He will go whoop like that and not hear you.
最糟糕的更
Why?
改，
Because in front of everybody, he's bringing out something that he disagrees with.
不
The
要当
pastor will
面。
protect himself, draw in his horns, and will not listen. That's the worst way to get a pastor to change something. The best way is to talk to him in private.
跟牧师私下来谈话
When。can I do that? Anytime.
La
My
peor
phone,
manera-
my phone is there.
La peor manera para hablar con pastor para que cambie es público enfrente de toda la otra gente porque no va a escuchar. La mejor manera es hablar él uno solo.
I'm not the pastor anyway. Tell Dr. Kagan.
但现在是凯根博士牧师，你们跟他谈。
No soy el pastor, dile al Dr. Kagan.
Dr. Kagan, I think we should do this, but I'm afraid to tell Dr. Hymers. Just fine. That's just fine.
你说凯根博士，我现在这一点怎么样？要不要
But
跟牧
not
师
in
谈
an？open meeting. That's no good. That's the old Southern Baptists. They like to have a fuss going all the time and a split going all the time. I would like to make, this is my goal, to see this church be the kind of a church where a little kid could be born, grow up in the church, become a man in the church, serve in the church, and never leave the church. That's the way it should be.
希望我们的教会能成为一个小孩子长大，一直一生在里面生活下去的教会。
Esta iglesia debe de ser tipo de iglesia donde alguien puede nacer, crecer, ser hombre y servir.
One of the things we did to stop that was to take away a lot of the jobs that the deacons did. They were too big. Ooh, deacons. They weren't deacons. Not deacons at all.
他们那些执事根本
Troublemakers.
就是找麻烦的执事。
Uno trabajo que hicimos es de que quitamos los trabajos de los diáconos porque ellos solamente causaban problemas.
And they'll say, and they still do, well, Dr. Kagan is your lackey. That means he just does whatever you tell him. He's not my lackey. You don't hear our conversation. We keep the children out of the room when we're talking.
有很多人
We
都
don't
指
argue
责
in front of the children.
说凯根博士是凯
you're
博
the
士走狗
children.
等等，但根本错了，你没有看到我们之间的交往。
Cuando el doctor Kagan y yo estamos discutiendo, tenemos los niños fuera del cuarto y ustedes son los niños.
I think we can have one of the greatest churches in the world still. I really do. And that's my goal.
我仍然认为我们可以成为世界上最伟大的教会之一。
Creo que podemos tener las más grandes iglesias en este país, en el mundo, y ese es mi método.
The goal is to be open with the leadership, with the pastor, and with the pastor emeritus. Dr. Kagan, you don't have to tell me. Tell him.
所以问题就是要公开
Won't
的。
that make you feel that you've been left out? Please, leave me out. I don't want to have another church split. Leave me out.
请你们不要再找我了，有什么麻烦的时候找凯根博士跟他商量。
Y no me digas a mí, dile al doctor Kagan.
Somebody said, Dr. Kagan's just a figurehead. You're the real pastor. No, it's not true.
有很多人说这个凯根博士不过就是傀儡，我告诉你，你错了。
Alguien dice de que el doctor Kagan es más que para que se vea y tú eres el pastor en
Not true.
verdad ves.
We went over and over one of his sermons today or yesterday, I forget which, that I thought was wrong. And I told him what's wrong. You'd like to know, wouldn't you, Mr. Nickel? What good would it do you to know? He said something that he shouldn't have said, which didn't help anybody, and I told him. And he tells me when I say something that shouldn't be said. And he scrubs my videos. We have more than one audience, you know. You're the first audience. The second audience is people in Southern California. The third audience is in the third world. And we have enemies. All of our enemies watch these sermons, you know.
我们有几
Our
层关
enemies that hate us will watch this sermon because of the title of it.
因为我们讲到的这个题目，很多我们的敌人都会观看我们的视频。
Hay distintos niveles de gente que mira los videos, ustedes primero, después el mundo de afuera, tercero de los otros que los enemigos.
And that's okay.
可以，无所谓。
Eso está bien.
I don't want to scrub the sermons too much, because if I scrub them too much, there's nothing there that'll help a pastor in the third world. But on the other hand, I don't want to give anything to the sharks that'll bite and chew and try to destroy. So,
我不想
Amen.
剪辑我们这个录视频等等剪太多，不然的话，第三世界的人看不到太多东西了。
No quiero dar nada a los tiburones que van a morder.
now you were going over 1 Corinthians 1:10. Who's got it memorized, Doctor?
哥林多前书1章10节
I'll，tell you who recited it correctly today.
That's good that some of you are already.
That is Mrs. Sanders, Gordon Blaso, Wesley Hymers, Abel Bruno, Joseph Gong, Rebecca Lee, Tom Shaw, Robert Wang.
Good.
他们已经背诵了
Good。start. What are you drinking? Beer? What are you drinking? You're drinking some water. Who else wants to say it? John Cook, can you? 1 Corinthians 1:10.
1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I beseech you, brethren,
That's
by
it.
the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in mind and judgment.
Yeah. That you be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Yes.
Same mind and the same judgment.
Good. Good, John. Now, the world will tell you that that's a cultic mentality. That's what they like to use, the word cultic.
世俗
Everybody thinking the same. In a normal church, everybody's thinking differently. Okay? Where is this normal church?
很多世俗人总把这个当做这个邪教的征兆，说你们都是讲同样的东西，讲同样的话，这不是邪教吗？我告诉你们，
If
这才
everybody thinks the
verso
same
dice-
thing, that's a cult.
El verso dice que todos pensemos y hagamos la misma cosa, y la cosa es de que a la gente dice en el mundo de que eso es un culto. Un
In a
culto.
really good church, everybody thinks different things.
他
All
们说
right,
好
where
教
is this good church? Tell me.
Y en vez dicen de que en una iglesia buena la gente piensa cosas diferentes, pero ¿dónde está tal iglesia?
什么地方好
And
教会？
most of our Baptist churches are not good.
大部分的浸信会都不好，
La mayoría de las iglesias bautistas no sirven.
Most of our evangelical churches are not good. This church hasn't been good. Why? Because everybody was thinking something different.
我们这个教会都不好，因为人人都想不同的东西。
La mayoría de la iglesia evangélica no sirven y aún esto no servía porque la gente piensa cosas diferentes.
What should we be thinking about?
我们该想
Prayer,
祷告，
¿Qué van a pensar? Oración,
loving one another,
互相爱戴，
amar uno al otro,
being kind to each other.
互相恩赐。
The Bible
Ser
says,
amable
be
uno con el
kind to
otro.
each other. Oh, that's not interesting. Tell me something interesting. Boy, I'll tell you, that would cure the church splits right there if we were kind to each other.
如果我们互相之间恩赐，互相
We're going to look at some of those.
善待，
In the book of Ephesians, there's about 5 or 7 or 8 things to do that would, that if we did them, we'd never have church splits. That's one of them. Be ye kind one to another.
你们互相之间要善待对方，这样呢，我们就不会有教会分裂
Sed
了。
amable uno con el otro, como se ve en Efesios de cosas para que no haya quebrantamientos.
Let not the sun go down on your wrath.
在你日落之前，不要你生气，也把
Que
它
el sol
放
no se
下。
cueste en tu vida.
I'm telling you, if you're upset about something and you go to sleep at night, you've committed a sin.
我要告诉你们，那一
You
些
have to take care of it before you go to sleep
在你上
to
床
obey the
前
Bible.
解决你这个恼怒。
Si estás enojado, tienes que arreglarlo antes de dormir, porque si no estás desobedeciendo
And
la ley.
95% of the time you can.
95%的时候，你可以办到。
25 veces lo puedes arreglar.
The men that split our church, I don't want to give their names or anything. The men who split our church were men that went to bed night after night after night in wrath and anger,
分裂我们教会那些人，一个晚接一个晚上，
internalized.
他们带着愤怒、恼怒上床睡觉的。
Los hombres que quebrantaron la iglesia dormían noche tras noche tras noche enojados.
I know.
我知道，
They were men that they thought they could lead the church and go to bed mad every night at something in the church or the pastor or something else. And it doesn't work because you become bitter. And through bitterness,
他们总以为带
many
着
are
恼怒、
defiled.
带着那些愤怒、恼怒可以引导教会，但办不到。作为教会领导，不能
Hablan de que podían acostarse noche tras noche enojados, pero ese enojo hace amargura, la amargura mancha a muchos.
These are not real hard things, you know.
不是很深奥的东西。
Don't let
No son cosas duras.
the sun go down on your wrath.
在你恼怒之时，那天在日落之前把它解决
Que el
掉，
sol no se cueste cuando todavía tengas la ira.
Be kind to one another.
互相善待。
Ser amable uno con el otro.
It's a lot more important than what time the rapture comes.
远远比那个什么时候
There's people that
Más
will
importante que
argue.
cuando viene el rapto.
There are people that will argue and just fight and just cause a big scene over when the rapture is going to come. But you said to them, be kind to one another. Oh, that's for little kids in Sunday school. No. That's for big boys. That's for preachers. That's for deacons. That's for you and me.
能够互相善待，是对你我对成人应该这样做。
Ser amable uno con el otro dice que para niños pequeños, no, es para diácono, para gente grande, es para ti y para mí.
Any other thoughts?
¿Otros
We
pensamientos?
should have a lot more thoughts because I know you're having them, but you don't say them, see, because you're afraid I'm going to get on your
很多你们
case.
把自己的思念藏在心里面不
¿Otros
肯说。
pensamientos?
Any thoughts, Kwang? Not right now. Okay. I'll ask you that every time we come here. I'd like to have a thought once in a while. It doesn't do to suck it in and try and see if it'll go away. It won't go away. It'll make you bitter.
怀恨在心的，总会让你恼怒。
No sirve de que lo pongas a un lado porque te va a hacer amargo.
Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that you may be healed.
互相祷告，互相承认认错的话，你们就可以得到医治。
Confesa uno al otro de que sea sanado.
We don't need to hear that. Okay, another church split.
你不希望听吗？
We
好，
had a time when I talked about that text.
教会分裂了。
No tenemos que hacer eso, necesitamos eso, pues entonces está bien, tendremos
Confess
otro
your faults one
quebrantamiento.
to another and pray for one another that you may be healed. And that was my text. I talked about it for about 3 months.
我按照
And
这
the people that needed to do it didn't do it. Church split.
他们没有
En vez de
互相
confesar uno con el otro y la cosa es de que no se hizo, tuvimos quebrantamiento.
There ought to be confession going on to God and to each other all the time. What's wrong with it? That's the way you stop a church split.
就应该对神承认认错，对互相之间认错，这样就停止阻止教会分裂。
Debe de haber confesión y oración uno con los sientes para parar y debe de haber eso todo el tiempo.
And don't you forget it, Lilia.
No se te olvide,
Be
Delia.
kind to me from now on.
Sea amable conmigo.
She's a kind person.
Ella es siempre amable.
Anything else? John?
Well, you said one, confess your faults one to another, that would involve taking time to be with each other and being open with each other and going.
Well, you don't want to get too weird about it, but you don't want to get where you're just doing that and nothing else. But I mean, there's plenty of times to do that.
When you can, and times you can, but there has to be times when you can't.
Yeah.
Not being so busy with lots of things that you don't have time for one another.
That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Why aren't we doing evangelism tonight?
为什么今晚没有
¿Por
外
qué
出
no
传
hacemos
福音？
evangelismo esta noche?
What good would it do?
有什么好处呢？
¿Qué sirve?
This comes by observation.
这是我的观察。
Esto viene por mirando.
For about between 3 months and 6 months before a split, nobody ever gets saved.
在教会分裂前4个月、后4个月，根本没有人得救。
3 o 6 meses antes de quebrantamiento nadie es salvo.
During the split, it's very rare. This girl got saved. During the split, it's very rare.
教会分裂中间，这个女孩子得救很少。
After the split, for 6 months, nobody gets saved.
教会分裂之后6个月，没有人得救。
Nadie es salvo antes por 3 o 6 meses y durante o aún después por 3 o 6 meses.
Why?
为什么？
¿Por qué?
People come to the church, and you can put on a front. But people come to the church, they can feel that there's something wrong.
有些人来教会，他们感觉到里面不正常的东西。
La gente viene a la iglesia y aunque estés amable saben de que algo está
A
mal.
couple of weeks ago, they brought a Chinese boy here.
几个礼拜前，一个男孩子，华
Hace
人
unas，cuantas semanas trajeron un chino.
Somebody said to him, "Would you like to come back?" He said, "No, I don't think so. There's something wrong there."
结果有人问他要回来吗？他说我不回来，因为那里面有不正常的东西。
Le preguntaron, ¿quieres regresar? Y dijo, no, no creo porque hay algo mal ahí.
Now, I didn't hear him. Maybe something wrong with him, probably was. But I know by experience that before the split, during the split, and after the split, nobody gets saved. Very, very few. So why push all the way for more names? And, why push for more evangelism? Just this is a time for us to stop and rewrite the script. That's what we're trying to do.
现在是我们停下来重新整顿的时候，重新思考我们要做什么事。
Necesitamos empezar a hacer las cosas diferentes.
We're going to have to rewrite the script or we're going to do the same thing again.
要重新整顿，重新整理我们要怎么做事情，不然的话，教会分裂会再次发生。
Vamos a tener que escribir las cosas de nuevo porque si no vamos a hacerlo igual.
And you don't want that to happen.
你们都不想，对不
Tú
对？
no quieres que eso pase.
And I sure don't want it to happen.
我起码不希望会再
Yo no
发
quiero
生
que。pase.
All right. Dr. Kagan, lead us in prayer. Let's all stand. Dr. Kagan is leading us in prayer.
Doctor Kagan nos guiará en oración.
凯格牧师引导我们
Let
祷
him,
告。
let him translate it.
Heavenly Father, please make our church new.
天父，我们祈求赐给我们新教会。
Speak
Para
up.
hacer a la iglesia nueva.
We pray that thou wouldst help in the redesign of the church and in the teaching of the people here, that we might not have splits.
帮助引导我们，这样教会不会再有分裂。
Ayúdanos haciendo la iglesia de nuevo que no tengamos quebrantamientos.
Help this to be a permanent part of the church and our thinking so that it does not happen again.
成为我们教会的永久的一部分，成为不会再会发生的这个教会分裂。
Ayúdanos de que sea de nueva manera de pensar que no pase de nuevo.
Please guide our preachers, Dr. Hymers and myself, to know what to say and do to make this church better.
请引导牧师海博士还有凯根博士引导我们知道如何引导他。
Quiero nuestros predicadores que sepan qué decir y hacer.
Have mercy on us, O Lord, and bring us into a better place.
神啊，请你施慈悲于我们，引我们去到更美好的地方。
Ten misericordia, traernos a un lugar mejor.
Bring us over the river into a land of abundance.
让我们渡过约旦河，去到一个丰盛的地方。
Traernos encima del río para el lugar de abundancia.
Help us to minister to the third world
帮助我们向第三世界传道，
Ayúdanos el ministerio del mundo tercero.
and make us the better church that we should be and ought to be.
让我们成为更加好的
Amen.
这个教会。
Haznos la mejor iglesia que debemos de ser y que paseamos.
In Jesus' name, amen.
耶稣名，阿
Amen.
门
You。may be seated.
请坐。
Now we haven't really gone into something else because we have to stay with this for a while.
我没有做其他事情，因为我必须要强调现在我们讲的这个题材。
No hemos movido a otra cosa porque tenemos que quedarnos con esto por un poco.
Close your eyes for a minute. Everybody close
Cierra
your
los ojos.
eyes.
大家闭起眼睛。
How many of you have felt lonely for somebody that left? Let me see your hands. Come
¿Cuántos han
on.
estado solos por
I
alguien
put
que se
mine
fue?
up. Okay. Put them down. Look up. Is it a good feeling?
¿Te sientes bien?
You want it to stop?
¿Quieres que pare?
Memorize the verse. 1 Corinthians 1:10. That's a
Memoriza el
good-
verso 1 Corintios 1:10.
we got to get into Scripture more
我们应该背诵京剧，
Tenemos que estar más en la escritura.
and think about it.
思考。
Meditate on it.
Pensar de esto, meditar.
Well, this won't get me saved. No, but it will get you saved. To have a happy church and no splits is going to get us saved. We can do something great, but
Sort of.
not when we're fighting all the time.
Podemos hacer algo grande cuando va peleando.
Now, are you afraid to put this up
把这个放到
on the
网站
internet?
放到网站上，我们这个视频怕不怕？
¿Tienes miedo poner esto en la internet?
No.
不怕。
No.
Well, somebody will see that you're having church splits. Everybody's having church splits.
有些人会看到你们教会有分裂，是人人教会，每间教会都有分裂。
Alguien verá de que estás teniendo quebrantamiento, pero sabes que todos están teniendo quebrantamientos.
So, preacher, if you say, well, that church is having splits, they're having trouble down there. Well, sure we are, but we're working on it. Don't you want to go with us and maybe learn something?
你说牧师，你知道我们这边有麻烦，难道不想跟我们一同来解决这个问题吗？
I
Tú
can,
dices están teniendo quebrantamientos, pero la cosa es que sí, es cierto, pero estamos haciendo algo para
I'll be
arreglarlo.
really
¿Pero
honest.
quieres aprender?
I'll be really honest with you. I would have soaked this video up. I would have soaked it up. I can't think. It's the second most important thing that we could think about and learn as pastors, how to avoid a church split.
说实话，我告诉你们，
Second
如果
most, because the first one is how to get people converted. We don't know how to do it. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't know how to do these things. And let's pray for one another that God can show us steps out of the problems into a better day.
所以我要说实话，第一大的问题就是如何让人得转变，第二大问题就是如何征服教会分裂。
La segunda cosa más importante es aprender a no tener quebrantamientos y después cómo ser la gente convertida y para que tengamos día mejor.
Good night.
Thank you for watching today's sermon.
感谢大家观看今天我们讲的道。
Gracias por mirar el sermón de hoy.
And if you are not saved, I urge you to come to Jesus.
如果你仍未得救的时候，我鼓励你、督促你信靠基督。
Si no eres salvo, te animo que vengas a Jesús.
When I was a young person, I went forward many times to be saved and to rededicate my life, but somehow I never got saved that way.
要在我年轻的时候，我许多次走到前面去得救，或者重新奉献我的一生，但是那样的方式一直没有使我得救。
Cuando yo era joven, yo fui al frente para ser salvo muchas veces, pero no fue así.
When I did get saved, it was a very simple matter.
当我得救那一天，非常简单。
Cuando sí fui salvo fue una cosa muy simple.
I simply came to Jesus and trusted him, and he saved me and washed me clean with his blood.
我就是简简单单信靠了耶稣基督，相信了他，用他的宝血洗净了我的罪孽。
Simplemente vine a Jesús, confié en Él y Él me lavó con su sangre.
It's extremely important to know where Jesus is. I don't think I really thought about that before I was saved, the day I was saved.
要知道，在我得救那天之前呢，我一直没有意识到耶稣到底是在何处，现在在何处，这非常重要的一点。
Es muy importante que sepas dónde es que está Jesús. Yo no creo que pensé de eso antes del día que fui salvo.
Right now, Jesus is not in the air all around us. He's not on the cross still. Jesus is not in our hearts. The Holy Spirit is, but not Jesus. The Bible says repeatedly, over and over again, that Jesus is at the right hand of God the Father in heaven.
如今呢，耶稣并没有在我们周围各处那个虚无缥缈中间飘，也没有在石架上，更没有在我们心中，圣灵在我们心中。但是圣经重重复复讲到，耶稣基督在上天神的右手边。
Jesús no está todo alrededor de nosotros, no está en el corazón. El Espíritu Santo sí está con nosotros, pero Jesús en la Biblia dice que está a la mano derecha de Dios el Padre en el cielo.
And Jesus loves you. He's not angry with you.
耶稣爱着你，他并没有生你的气。
Jesús te ama, no está enojado contigo.
God the Father is angry with the wicked every day, but Jesus came into the world, the Son of God came into the world to save sinners. And He loves you.
神呢，每一天都生那些罪人的气，因为为他们犯的罪。但是耶稣基督来到人间，他为了就是拯救罪人。
Jesús no está enojado contigo. Jesús vino al mundo para salvar los pecadores. Él te ama.
And God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Even though He was angry with sin, He loved the world and sent His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
虽然神憎恶这些世间的罪孽，但是呢，他爱世人，将他自己的独生子赐给我们，让一切信他的不至灭亡，反得永生。约翰福音3章16节。
De tal manera amó Dios al mundo que dio su Hijo unigénito para que cualquiera que crea en Él no se pierda, mas tenga vida eterna.
Sometimes people ask me, how do you come to Jesus?
有时候常常有人问我，如何才能走向基督？
A veces la gente me pregunta cómo es que vienes a Jesús.
I never answer that question because the Bible doesn't answer it.
我从来没有去回答这个问题，因为圣经没有这样回答。
Nunca doy respuesta de esa pregunta porque la Biblia no da respuesta.
When you are tired of your sin and tired of your struggle, then God will draw you to Jesus, and it will be a very simple matter.
当你厌倦了自己的罪恶的时候，当你厌倦了那种挣扎之下的时候，结果神就会自然而然引导你信靠基督了。
Cuando estás cansado de tu pecado, entonces es un negocio fácil para que Dios te traiga a Jesús.
Not long ago, I was reading again the testimony of the salvation of Dr. A.W. Tozer.
不久以前，我又一次读了读 A.W. Tozer 博士他得救的见证。
Reciente estaba leyendo de nuevo la conversión al testimonio del Dr. Tozer.
Dr. Tozer heard a man preach the gospel on a street corner.
要叫投手博士在一个街头，在街边听到一个人宣讲福音。
Dr. Tozer escuchó a alguien predicando el evangelio de una esquina.
It was the first time he had ever heard the gospel.
这是他第一次听到福音的宣扬。
Fue la primera vez de que había escuchado el evangelio.
He was 17 years old.
17岁才。
17 años de edad.
And Dr. Tozer ran home. He didn't stop to talk to anybody or tell anybody about it. He ran home and went up into the attic of his father's house.
这个投手博士一路跑回家，路上没有跟任何人打招呼，跑到家以后去到阁楼上面，他的父亲家里面的阁楼上面藏起来。
Dr. Tozer corrió de la casa después de escuchar eso, no le habló con nadie, se puso enseguida a la azotea de la casa.
And he got down on his knees and came to Jesus.
结果就在阁楼上面单独一个人跪下以后，在信靠了耶稣基督。
Se arrodilló y vino enseguida a Jesús.
And he went on to become one of the great preachers of the 20th century.
结果继续成为一个20世纪最知名的一个传教士之一。
Fue uno de los grandes predicadores del siglo XX.
Perhaps that would be a good way for you to do. If you heard this sermon and you feel that you're lost, get in a quiet place by yourself.
有可能这是可以成为你得救的方式。当你在网站上听到了我们这个宣道的时候，可以自己一个人单独祷告。
Quizás eso sería bueno también para ti. Si estás escuchando este sermón y estás perdido, ve a un lugar callado de solo.
Get down on your knees. That helps to humble you. Get down on your knees and come to Jesus, and His blood will wash every sin away, past, present, and future.
这样跪下呢，帮助你作为一些卑微一下，让这样跪下请求耶稣基督，请求神的原谅，这样呢，原谅你过去、现在和未来全部的罪孽。
Hincante en tus rodillas y ven a Jesús Él lavará tus pecados pasado, presente, futuro.
Repent and believe in Jesus.
当忏悔，信靠主耶稣，
Arrepiéntete, cree en Jesús.
Turn away from your sinful lifestyle and get down on your knees and simply, by faith, come to Jesus. That's all he requires. Him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out, he said in the 6th chapter of John.
在约翰福音6章，这里面讲耶稣这样到我这里来，我绝不会离弃他们。所以你要抛弃自己邪恶的生活，结果转向耶稣，靠信仰信靠他，这就是他所需要的一切了。
Ese camino bien, no lo rechazaré, dijo de breve en el Evangelio de Juan.
And then if you do come to Christ, I pray that you will get into a church as soon as possible and be in church every time the door is open. There's no more important advice that I could give you. Get into a church and be there every time the door is open.
但是当你得到转变之后，一定要找一个地方教会，每一次教会有活动都去参加，没有比这更重要的了。一旦你得到转变，参加一个地方教会。
No hay mejor consejo que te puedo dar menos que ve a la iglesia y esté ahí cada vez que la puerta esté abierta.
And if at all possible, make sure it's a church that preaches from the authorized King James Bible and sings the traditional hymns.
如果可能的话，这个教会应当是宣扬 King James 这版本，而且他们唱的是传统的圣诗。
Y si es posible, asegúrate que sea de la King James y los himnos antiguos.
And go to the pastor and tell the pastor that you've been saved.
而且告诉了牧师你如何得救的。
Habla con el pastor, dile que fuiste salvo.
And the best advice I could possibly give you is to get in to a church, a local church, and be there every time the door is open. That's the way to grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. And be sure to give a tithe of your money to the church, and God will bless you.
所以我给你最重要的这个建议就是进入一个地方教会，在那里面就是在恩典之下不断成长，而且拿出你的11奉献交给了地方教会。
Métete en una iglesia local, es una de las mejores maneras de crecer en gracia y conocimiento. De un diezmo ahí, Dios te bendecirá.
Now, I would like to ask you to support this ministry and help us.
我现在希望你能够帮助我们网站上的传道事业，
Quiero pedirte de que nos ayudes apoyando este ministerio.
Because these sermons are going out throughout the world in many, many languages, and we're adding more languages almost every month.
要知道，我们这是通过网站各种各样的10几种语言，而且我们越来越多的语言，不断的每个月都要加上去，所以这是传遍世界的一个福音。
Estos sermones van a través del mundo en la internet en muchos idiomas y añadimos más idiomas casi cada mes.
And Dr. Kagan, is our statistician, has estimated, based on various things that he's studied, that 80% of those who watch these who read my sermons in manuscript form on this website, 80% of them are pastors.
Kagan 博士，我们教会的一个统计学家，他这样估计，就是在我们网站上面读我们讲道的那些朋友呢，80%都是宣道士。
Y el doctor Kagan, que hace la estadística con nosotros, piensa de que 80% de la gente que ve estos videos, escucha, son predicadores.
And they are using these sermons when they get stuck, as I often do, to give them a sermon idea. And in the third world, in places where the gospel cannot go, many preachers are preaching these sermons verbatim, right, word for word.
要知道，很多的牧师，当他们自己根本就没有不知道要宣讲什么的时候呢，通过网站可以得到一些启发。很多在第三世界国家那些教会的牧师，通过我们网站上面逐字逐句，就是用我们的讲的道来宣讲。
Y ayuda a pastores a veces cuando no saben a qué predicar, pero también en los países terceros mundo la están predicando palabra por palabra.
I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know it until not too long ago. But 1/3 of the world does not have any, not even one missionary, doesn't have any missionaries from the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. No missionaries from the English-speaking world in 1/3 of the world.
不知道你有没有注意到，我是最近才发现，就是在1/3世界上的地区，西方世界，美国、英国，而且欧洲还澳大利亚等等，那么西方世界传教士根本去不到世界1/3地区。
No sé si lo sabes, pero un tercio del mundo no tiene misioneros de que hablan inglés.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature."
耶稣这样告诫我们要往普天下去，向万民传福音。
Jesús dijo de id a todo el mundo, predicad el evangelio a cada criatura.
But our Western missionaries cannot get into 1/3 of the world. That's about 2.5 billion people where our missionaries cannot go.
但是我们西方这个传教士大概有1/3的地区，大概也就是2亿5千万的人，根本就是我们达不到我们这些西方传教士这个他们这个声音之下。
Un tercio del mundo, como 1 billón de gente, los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir ahí.
But the native pastors are there.
但是有本地的传教士在那里。
Pero los pastores nativos sí están ahí.
And they are the only way, they are the only means of spreading the gospel in those countries is through the native pastors.
在那些地区，就是唯一通过地方的本地传教士来把福音传出去，是唯一的方式了。
Es la única manera de repartir el evangelio es a través de los nativos pastores.
At the beginning of World War II, Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of England, sent a message to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in America, and he said, "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job."
第二次世界大战开始的时候，文斯顿·丘吉尔曾经发了一个信息传给这个美国的总统罗斯福，这样祈求到说：“请你们把工具交到我们手中，我们就把这工作完成它。”
Al principio de la guerra mundial, Churchill le mandó una correspondencia al presidente Roosevelt diciéndole, mándanos las herramientas y nosotros terminaremos el trabajo.
And that's what we're attempting to do with this website. We're sending the printed sermons, word for word, on the internet to those nations in the Muslim world, the Buddhist world, the Hindu world, where our missionaries cannot go.
这就是我们通过这个网站所要办到的事情，把这个福音的信息逐句的传到那些1/3，就是穆斯林教国家，还有那些佛教的国家，各种各样的一个传教士去不到的地方，把那些这个武器交到那些传教士的手中。
Y eso es lo que estamos haciendo. Estamos mandando estos sermones escritos palabra por palabra a los lugares musulmanes de otros del mundo donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
We're giving those native pastors the tools, and they will finish the job of spreading the gospel in those parts of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们把这些传福音的工具交在那些本地的传教士他们的手中，他们就会完成这样传福音的工作。
Nosotros estamos dando a esos pastores las herramientas para que ellos puedan hacer el trabajo.
And we are giving those pastors, those native pastors, the tools, and they will finish the job of going into all the world and spreading the gospel to every creature in that 1/3 of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们就是把这个工具交到他们这个本地的那宣道士的手中，让他们去到那个1/3我们西方传教士去不到的地方，往普天下去，把这个福音传给万民听。
Estamos mandando estas herramientas a los sermones en ese tercio del mundo donde los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir.
And that's where you come in.
这就是你在这里可以帮助我们了。
Ahí es donde tú ayudas.
I am asking you to help us add more languages and more translators.
现在我就是希望你能够帮助我们更加多一些另外的一些翻译的工作，而且更加多一些语言上去。
Te estoy pidiendo que nos ayudes para que podamos agregar más idiomas idiomas.
People in our own church translate the sermons into Chinese, Japanese, Tagalog, the language of the Philippines, Spanish, and of course I give them in English. And so we are able to do those 5 languages. But all the rest of the languages, we have to pay a small amount of money to the missionaries and Christian workers that translate all the other languages.
要知道，我们本教会这些朋友们已经翻译成了中文、西班牙语，而且日文，还有一些 Tagalog， 就是墨西哥那些。但是呢，其他的这语言呢，都是要有其他的，我们要给他们一些资助，给他们一些报答，让他们来帮助我们做翻译。
Y nosotros en nuestra iglesia estamos nosotros mismos traduciendo en español, en japonés, en coreano, en chino y pues claro en inglés, pero tenemos que pagar a los otros que están afuera de la iglesia.
Now, we have raised a lot of money here for the languages that are already up, but to add more languages, we're going to need your help.
现在我们网站上刊载这10几种语言呢，我们要用很多这个资金来赞助，但是要加多更多的语言的话，我们就需要你来帮助了。
Gastamos mucho dinero acá para los idiomas que sí tenemos en el sitio internet, pero para añadir más idiomas necesitamos ayuda.
Could you possibly make a monthly pledge to help us add more languages to this website?
你能不能保证每个月来拿出一笔这个资金来帮助我们把更多的语言加在我们网站上面？
¿Podrías mensualmente ayudarnos con una promesa para ayudarnos a añadir más idiomas?
If you can do it, I'm asking you to send $50 a month. If that's not possible, $25 a month, and make a monthly pledge to this ministry to help us get these sermons out in those parts of the world where none of our missionaries can go.
所以我希望你能够每个月呢能够赞助些50块钱，如果不可能的话，25块钱也可以，25块钱能够帮助我们把这个语言，把这各种各样的福音传到这个世界上面1/3地区，我们这个西方传教士去不到的地方。
Si no pudiera ayudar, por favor, promete para ayudar algo mensualmente para que podamos mandar esto a lugares donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
Because the internet goes everywhere.
因为万维网站呢是去到是无孔不入的。
La internet va a todas partes.
And those native pastors can print out the sermons from their computer or copy them down with a pencil or pen. And often they circulate these sermons and pass them on to others. So would you help us with a monthly gift?
所以那些本地的牧师可以打印出来，或者把它抄下来，或者做拷贝等等，或者是流传给另一个人。你能不能帮助我们做好这些工作呢？
Frecuentemente los pastores escriben palabra por palabra de lo que se ve en la computadora, pero la cosa es que, por favor, ayúdanos mensualmente.
And if you can do that, you could send the money with a credit card, or you could send it by Western Union, and see if you can send it in with American money if possible. And the sheet will come up in just a moment that tells you how to send the money by credit card or the post office box where you can mail it.
你要是做奉献献给我们教会的话，你可以写支票，一会儿呢，荧幕上在底下就可以看到这个寄给我们这个地址，同时也可以用你的信用卡或者是 PayPal 或者 Western Union 都可以的做奉献给我们教会，请你帮助我们。
Un momento verás la dirección donde se puede enviar el dinero a través de tarjeta de crédito, de PayPal o a Western Union, pero ojalá mándalo en dólares, pero si no, vienen pronto la dirección en la pantalla.
So keep watching, and that information will come up on the screen in just a moment.
所以继续看下来，观看下去，一会儿这个做奉献的信息呢，这就打印在这个荧幕上让你看了。
Sigue mirando y esa información se verá en momento en la pantalla.